Hello and welcome to Favorite Rugby on Forever Sport. And some interesting news. It looks like VERMEULEN is on the verge of sealing his next move into the coaching box. And it is a return home to a certain degree, in that he is looking to apparently take up a role within the Stormers setup, which has been confirmed. The talks have been confirmed by John Dobson. So the concept's there, the idea is there. It's now about getting it over the line. Before we go any further, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so in terms of what we know and what we don't know, what we know is that VERMEULEN has spoken about the fact that he would like to get into coachings. And in fact, he earlier in this, during the World Cup, said, as I quote, he was asked in terms of whether he was interested in going into coaching, and he said, "You never know. If you had asked me this a couple of years ago, I would have probably said no." He said, "But when you finish, you want to give back to the younger guys. If the opportunity arises, if there is a possibility, then I'd love to stay in the game. I would like to help younger guys, younger players. You never know where life takes you, but I love this game, and it's difficult to step away when you've been in it for so long." Right, so the question is, where? People talking about a potential role within the Springboks. People talking about the fact that Jacques Alba has left as defense coach. VERMEULEN has been a very good, big part of the Springbok defense, and whether maybe that could be a potential where he wants to go. But John Dobson has confirmed that he will be taught. He has had conversations, and the Stormers have had conversations with VERMEULEN, but it all comes down to whether they can actually get it all agreed. He said as follows. We started talking with Dwayne last year. We knew he was going to retire, and he was keen to stay in Cape Town. He said, we reached an idea where we could look after the forwards in our pathway, which is very important, making sure these guys are technically strong. He's technically outstanding. He acts as a player coach wherever he goes. He certainly did that at Ulster, and I expect very much at the Springboks. If we could get him up here, that would be great, but it's subject to a few things. The big thing, obviously, is that the Storm was on a very interesting situation, where in 2021, SA Rugby took over administration, for example, but there hasn't been an equity deal that has been approved, although not been completed. And as a result, nobody can really sign off on such an appointment, which is apparently sort of the red tape that is stopping this from potentially going through. Dobson said, "It's curious, we are still under full administration. The Red Dice Consortium doesn't have full control, but they also have to get insight into what we spend during this period. We can't laden them with all sorts of spending. We see how Dwayne fits in here, and we think he is keen to come, and we are keen to have him. But it still needs to do some movement off the field. There's a will for everyone to make it happen, so hopefully we can get it wrapped up in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully by the end of the year, VERMEULEN will have a little spot in the Stormers coaching box. But the interesting thing is what he's going to be doing. So John Dobson has basically alluded that he'll be working within the junior setups, or and working with the junior forwards. So I think that's a good point. Stormers have got a pretty settled coaching, contingent, and you don't just want to create a role for him for the sake of having him in the coaching box, So I think this is a nice way of saying, right, well, they're going to bring him in. They're going to say, right, work with the forwards, work with the junior coaches. I still think he'll probably be involved in the URC side, to be perfectly honest. I think that they'll look at the experience and, I think that they will want to tap into the knowledge that he's got. And I personally think I think he's going to be a fantastic coach. I think that's the main thing. I think he's got the temperament for it. I think he's got the knowledge for it. I think he wants to give back, and I think he's a hard worker. So I think he's going to be a great coach. There's certain players who, when you watch over the years, and you just sit there thinking, there's a rugby brain there, and I think that he's going to be really good at it. And I think VERMEULEN is one of those characters. So I'd be very honest I'd be very surprised if he doesn't succeed as a coach, and I think he'll probably climb the ladder pretty quickly. So he's going to have to pay his dues in the Stormers and the junior setups. And then work his way up. Could he be a part of the Springbok setup one day? Well, why not, really? He's got a long coaching career ahead of him, potentially. So, yeah, I think it could be a matter of time. Personally, I think before he probably is involved in a Springbok setup. But I don't think there's anything standing in his way. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you see VERMEULEN as a future Springbok coach, for example? And as a Stormers fan, how excited are you if he were to join the setup? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.